What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of So What's the Issue? You know, I'm your boy Solo Fo. Today I'm going to be talking about the Nicki and Megan debate. So I'm going to start with this. You know, Megan released a track called Hiss, and it wasn't a full song about, I said Cardi, about Nicki, but it was like a couple shots inside the song. But Nicki released a full song about Megan. If y'all don't know, Megan's is called Hiss, Nicki's is called Bigfoot. And I'm going to jump into the songs. The songs, Megan's song is somewhat playable. I don't find it to be like no big hit. I don't see it being no whatever. Like, it's not no crazy song or anything like that. But for Nicki's song, let's be all honest with this. Nicki's song was not that. And anybody that does say Nicki's song was like that is only because they listened to a couple bars or a couple punchlines that she said inside the song. But outside of a couple bars, outside of a couple punchlines, I know we all turned that song on and we kind of scratched our head and was like, hey, Nicki, this one ain't it. Now, the thing that I really wanted to talk about was I seen a video. Y'all probably seen the white dude in the comment section where they said go read the comments or go look at the comments, and people were talking. You got the white dude that was talking about Nicki has never been this and she ruined rap and a whole bunch of this and that. So I made a post that asked people like, hey, do y'all think Nicki's legacy is not as big as her talent? And, you know, I don't think too many people actually answered that question directly. But at the same time, what I will say is some people actually did answer that question directly. Well, I'm going to answer that question directly for myself. Nicki's talent level is insane. She did not ruin female rap. She carried female rap for over 10 years. She carried it. So can't nobody actually come out and just say that she ruined it. Now, the thing about this song, though, this song in particular, we've all seen Nicki at her best. This is nowhere near Nicki's best. This is Nicki trying to talk a little trash or whatnot. This is Nicki sending some shots at somebody. And, you know, people were talking about, was it okay? Was it fair that she said some of the things about on her dead ass mama and on, get up on your Bigfoot and stuff like that. This is what I say about that. The whole Bigfoot thing, that part is like, all right, cool, that's all whatever. I got two things that I wouldn't cross a line on it when it comes to dissing. Like, if somebody ever diss me, I don't bring up kids and I don't bring up dead people. So any type of thing like that, that's foul. Other people, it's fair game. I give it to you. Other people, it's fair game. But for me, that's foul. I don't like bringing up people's kids because that takes it into a space of where music ain't just music. But what I wanted to see more of was actually going at her, showing us that queen type of energy, that whole, topped up, Nicki at her peak form. My thing about this whole situation, people are talking about Nicki needs to grow up, Nicki needs to, move on and this and that. I personally don't feel like Nicki needs to move on. I don't feel like Nicki needs to move on because Nicki is still a current rapper. She is an active rapper. So why would an active rapper have to move on from a beef? If you ask for the beef, then you get involved with the beef. That's just it. Like, especially if you sent the shot first. Now, if you decide not to retaliate, that's on you because some people ain't lyrically like that. But at the same time, Megan released hers first. Then Nicki responded. It's all fair game once that starts to roll, it's all fair game. People was talking about the whole Nicki being a pedophile thing. Nicki, we don't know specifically about Nicki being a pedophile. People were talking about the 13-year-old thing. She was twerking on a 13-year-old. I'm not saying it like this because twerking on a 13-year-old is dead wrong, and I do not promote that for any reason. But we can't lie and act like twerking on a 13-year-old boy is looked at different than, a male messing with or doing anything towards a 13-year-old girl. those things are two different levels of wrong. Both of them are wrong. I don't want to say either one of them are right, but we look at these things socially as one being way more wrong than the other, with somebody twerking on a 13-year-old. Now, yeah, her dude is a proven pedophile, and her brother is a pedophile. Now, what I will say is this: people have been saying since she's hanging out with pedophiles, she's got to be a pedophile. I don't know so much about her having to be a pedophile just because she does associate herself. You can't control your brother's actions. Now, you want to be with this dude. I'll say this. Can we be honest about something real quick? And I just want to say it, and I'm not saying it like it's okay, but in our regular community, how many people report when pedophilia is actually going on in our neighborhoods? Well, I mean, if you want to roll with that type of logic, you can. But how many pedophiles do we actually know in our neighborhoods? How many times when we was in high school, did we see the 16-year-olds getting picked up by 24, 25, 26-year-olds and nobody ever said anything? Who ever said anything? Did you, your peoples, did her peoples, did, like when we were in school, we seen this a lot. And nobody ever called the police on, like, anybody, nobody ever picked up the phone and never actually said anything about it. So I'm not saying is it wrong or is it right, but I'm asking a specific question. Is it more worse than what we see on a daily? For people to be calling it out, does no good to report it. Nothing gets done speaking from a molester. Yeah. See, that's the thing. And then if you ask the girls themselves, they say things like they like older men. They want to be with an older man because the guys their age are less mature. And I just want to touch on this real quick because it's always burned me. The dude that you're dealing with that is 24, 25, that is coming to pick you up from school, he is not what you think he is. He's the reject of his generation. That's the reason why he's talking to you as a young girl. He is not talking to you because you are the baddest or anything. You're easy. He knows he can simply manipulate you with hey, I got a car, and that bitch could be a 2005 Honda. That bitch could be a fucking 1996 BMW. Like, he's just wooing you with small things. He's got a Section 8 house. And you, as a young man, you're thinking like, oh, this is a mature guy. This is a whatever. But, that's a whatever. But pedophilia, like, is not acknowledged in our neighborhood. So I'm not saying it's okay or anything like that. But if they didn't go to court for, so whatever he did, he actually did go to court for whatever he's whatever for it. But because he did go to court, whatever about it, it's like, why is it so shunned in one hand but so promoted on another? And I'm not trying to make it okay, but her brother, she can't control her brother. Like, you can't. And I don't know what these situations are. I don't know if it was a 20-year-old messing with a 17-year-old. I can't tell you what any side of anything was, but just at the same time, like, that's on the pedophilia tip. I would prefer Nicki to not mess with somebody like that because it's a bad image. But maybe she is trying to rehab his image to make him look more like something else nowadays. Because I'm not saying that he's changed, because you still did something with a child at some point in time. But at the same time, it's maybe she is trying to rehab his image. I'm not okay with it, but maybe that's an ingredient to the situation. But back to the whole Nicki thing. What I don't like about this beef thing, what kind of burns me about this beef thing, is because I don't know how far beefs go anymore. I don't know if we can just keep it lyrical anymore. And I want my music beefs to stay lyrical. I want them to go track for track until one gets burnt out and the fans is like, nah, that shit was bogus over there. Like, that's what I want it to be. But I don't want them to meet up at a Grammys. I don't want them to meet up at some J Prince party or something like that. And I'm only saying their names because, they're big names. But I don't want them to meet up at somebody's party, somebody's event, and it actually turn into a street situation where now people actually got to put hands on each other. And then on top of that, from history, we see things don't just stay at blow to blow. They go to gunshots. They go to a whole bunch of other stuff that music ain't supposed to be entertaining. Now, don't get me wrong. Hip hop's biggest come up is always off of beef because of the energy behind it, the following behind it. But at the same time, we need to keep things more lyrical. We need things to stay lyrical. We don't need any more deaths. We don't need any more King Vons. We don't need any more Tupac. We don't need any more of that in our community. But at the same time, strictly off the music tip, if we're going round for round so far, Megan's up one, even though she didn't actually make a diss track, because what Nicki released isn't like that. So what I'm saying is, I want a round two. I want this time Nicki to jump on the offense, her sit in the lab for a week or so, and not just do it in 15 minutes and 30 minutes. I want Nicki to jump inside the lab, really put in some work, and then send back a real song that we know Nicki is capable of, because Bigfoot was not it. We can all be honest that Bigfoot was not it. But at the same time, I understand there's rounds to this. Y'all remember Pusha T and Drake? That wasn't just one round. Even though they came with some shit. They came with some bars and shit like that. But it wasn't just one round. So this is what I want to see from my hip hop beef. I want to see more rounds to this. So the battle might be won right now for Megan, but I want Nicki to come back one more time, two more times, and there'll be like a 3-round, knockout type of thing. Whoever's best to 3, whatever. That's what I want to see from our hip hop artists, but I want it to stay strictly hip hop. Let me emphasize that. I don't think it was Nicki that had her fans go, desecrate Megan's mom's tombstone and her burial site and stuff like that. I don't think that was Nicki. I do think Nicki just has some crazy ass, weird ass fans. The Barbs have always been erratical. We've always known that. Now, I seen another story that said Megan was lying about the gravesite thing for PR and publicity and stuff like that. I don't know if that's particularly true. I do believe that people did do that, and I do believe that she did put some form of security at her mom's grave, because that's not a cool thing to do, is to mess with anything that's got to do with anything's dead people or any stuff like that. Like, fans, y'all need to stop being so overly emotional and be willing to do crazy shit like this, because that's messed up. And I'd probably sit there myself with a gun waiting on somebody to come and try to mess with my people's graves. Like, I would be there myself doing some shit like that. But do I believe she probably put one person there or something like that and just said it to the media, and people would try to make it a bigger thing than what it was? I believe that's what happened. I don't believe that she went out of her way and said, yeah, I need 10 military people standing at my mama's grave at all time. I think she just simply said, hey, I'm going to pay a couple extra $100, a couple extra $1,000 to have somebody to go sit at my mama's grave site so they don't disrespect my mother's grave site. So people, please don't run off with narratives and make something out of nothing, because I do believe both sides are true. Nicki's fans did something stupid. Megan did the whole putting security there. I don't believe it was a thing that was overhyped that the media pushed out for whatever type of I don't think that was that. I mean, but whatever. But this is just part 1 of this. I'm going to have a part 2 to this. But I appreciate everybody for watching, and I will talk to y'all on this subject a little later. Thank y'all for watching. This has been So What's the Issue? I'm Solo Foe. Peace.